For Kelowna Mission.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Well, the difference between our government and this NDP government is that this government refuses to look at outcomes. Selling less than 2% of our public lands for a gain to the public with reconciliation with First Nations, tens of thousands of homes that have been created, and tens of thousands of jobs that were created in stimulation of the economy. And as I rise today to respond to the motion before the House, one that was solely designed to sow division and act as a deflection, I want to think about the last 7 years under the NDP. I'd love to, as the member from Vancouver Kensington suggests, talk about the NDP's record of outcomes. Because this NDP loves to make promises, break promises, and then blame others for their own failures. The facts are clear. And the consequences of 7 years of NDP rule are painfully evident across multiple fronts of public concern. Under this NDP government, things have steadily worsened. The NDP claimed to champion the middle class, yet it is this very group that finds itself entrapped in an ever-tightening vice, with the cost of living escalating and opportunities dwindling. From this NDP middle-class squeeze to failing in areas of healthcare, education, housing, by every metric, British Columbia has most of the worst results in Canada. A striking example of this NDP government's priorities is found in their failure to take immediate and effective action on carbon tax and fuel tax that would put British Columbia on an even playing field with the rest of Canada. Why wouldn't they give immediate relief to British Columbians when they are desperate and deciding between buying bread, heating their home, or getting their kids to their swimming lessons? Well, maybe because this NDP is prioritizing a corporate handout through the NBC Investment Corporation worth $500 million. Or maybe it's because they're wasting money on community benefit agreements that skyrocket public capital costs and give away billions of tax dollars to get less while spending more. These are the historic spends of the NDP. Consider other failures that have come to characterize this government. Healthcare, the cornerstone of a civilized society, is imploding. Hospitals and medical facilities are either overburdened or underconstructed, and with the Promise Surrey Hospital being a prime example, its budget ballooning to $2.88 billion and its completion lacking by years. That's over $17 million a bed. What are these beds made of? Gold? These will become the most expensive beds, hospital beds, ever created in the world. Is this the record to be proud of? Record spending of taxpayers' money. I would be ashamed. This facility, once completed, will only have 168 beds, won't have critical components such as an ICU, a maternity ward, with 6,000 babies born every single year. Or how about a pediatric department? Now let's look at education, the bedrock of our future. It's been similarly mismanaged. The NDP's pledge to eliminate the use of portables in our schools by 2020 has not only gone unfulfilled, but the situation has deteriorated. How about we talk about some heating in Surrey? Students are subjected in Surrey to learning in conditions that require winter coats indoors. An utter failure. Housing, don't even get me started. Making 114,000 housing promises, then breaking those promises, and now blaming others for their own failures. This government has shown complete mismanagement of large infrastructure projects, with timelines and budgets being mere suggestions rather than targets to be met. Let's just talk about the case of the SFU Medical School, because this is a poignant one. Its delays ensuring that the new cohort of doctors will not emerge until 2030. By then, how much deeper will the healthcare crisis become? And when our BC United government doubled and distributed the seats in UBC Medical School, it was planned to be able to increase by 30%. Has anyone talked to their med students lately to find out if that's possible? Newsflash, it is. So why would this government not have doubled those school spaces right away? Maybe because it's more about politics than actually serving people. How many more people have to die without care because this government is unable to fix things? Thank you very much.